Metal monthly, all new metal, got no new metal, yeah. Hey, howdy Banger fans, it's Metal Monthly, Banger's monthly look at what's coming out in album releases in the great world of metal. It's February, the most romantic month of the year, so snuggle up with your significant other and put on some of these jams. As always, we got a Patreon. You can subscribe to the Patreon, give us a couple bucks, help us keep making videos. We got just the YouTube channel you're on. You can like this video, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can comment. And I'm Blayne Smith. Hey, cool. Nice. As always, here's just a list of some of the bigger albums coming out this month. You can peruse these. You might already know about them, but you might want to mark your calendar just in case, because February 5th, we've got Cult of Luna releasing the Raging River EP on Red Creek. We've got Corpic Clanny releasing Jilpot on Nuclear Blast. We've got Saren releasing You Can't Go Back on Prosthetic Records. February 12th, we've got Swamp Beast releasing Seven Evils Spawned of Seven Heads on Translation Loss Records. February 19th, we've got Suffering Hour releasing the Cyclic Reckoning on Profound Lore. Coronaries releasing Sinbad on Cruz del Sur Music. Gravesend is releasing Method of Human Disposal on 20 Bucks Spin. And oh gosh, I really wanted to put that in there, but it sounds too much like stuff like that. You'll understand, but I'll explain later. February 26th, Alice Cooper is releasing Detroit Stories on Ear Music. Epica is releasing Omega on Nuclear Blast. Melvin's 1983 is releasing Working with God on Ipecac. And Moonspell is releasing Hermitage on Napalm. So that's the big records coming out, but as always, I've trolled the underground to try and find you some spicy nuggets that you might have missed, some chicken karage, some little dippies, some Yves breaded chicken substitute, whatever your dietary preference is. Oh boy, I'm just... Up first, the album I'm going to talk to you about is a prog metal album. What? Why? It's Iotunn's Access All Worlds on Metal Blade Records, February 26th. Have a listen now so I can figure out why I'm talking about prog. Okay, I've said the genre a lot. It's that type of metal out of Denmark, and because it's that type of metal, it of course has a chakra unlocking space cover by Ella Rancantor, but it's a very nice one. It's painted, it's not, some 3D graphics, so it looks great, and of course it's got a space cover because the record is about space. Prog people can only talk about space. But I've said prog a lot. You might be skipping to the next record. Don't, because this is some heavy prog music. There are some growls to go along with the normal prog singing. And when I say normal prog singing, I mean it's normal that it has singing in it because it's prog. Not that it's normal prog singing, because normal prog singing sounds like a Valtrex commercial from 2005. This sounds like a kind of doomy band. It helps alleviate that cheese a little bit. It's very cool. It's very soaring. And then at the heart of it, you just have a bunch of technical musicianship, because that's the foundation of the genre, and it's just displayed really well. It's really great. If you normally prog this. If you don't normally prog, give it a chance, man. I'm the king of dunking on prog kids.
Proggy stuff that perverts like you like, with your gear and your weird notes and your strange Italian words that I don't understand.
And that's pretty much what this whole thing has been, but this record is so good. Up next, we have more progressive music. What is happening? Paranorm is releasing Empyrean on Redefining Records February 26th. I guess that's prog day. Let's all have a prog listen. maybe progressive. It's not progressive metal. It's progressive thrash with like a little bit of death, a little bit of black through it. It's progressive thrash music. It's out of Sweden. It's progressive, so it's got a chakra unlocking space cover. This one's by David Osby. It's also painted though. It's also not a 3D graphic, so we're already ahead again. On my Metal Monthly research streams, hey, if you like these videos, what I'm researching for these videos, I air it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/metalcomedy. It's usually the second last Sunday of the month. Hey, check me out over there. On the stream, someone was like, hey man, you never really talk about thrash on the show. Do you not like thrash? Is like people not making thrash anymore? What's going on? And I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. I haven't had a thrash band in a while. I love thrash, but it does seem like we're in the middle of like a old school death metal revival and people aren't producing as much thrash. And then, wha-bam, this amazing thrash record fell in my lap. So hey, error corrected. So what's so great about this? Well, it's that amazing sci-fi thrash. It's got that sci-fi thrash guitar tone. I'm a sucker for that stuff. And the #1 band that did it, we're not listening to anymore. Good, let's not talk about it. Let's talk about this band. This band is great. So again, the progressive tag brings some amazing musicianship, but like I said, it separates itself from the genre of, you know, sci-fi progressive technical thrash by throwing in a little bit of death and black elements. So, you know, if you like that stuff and you just want more of it, it's here. If you like that stuff and you're a little fatigued by it, hey, maybe the answer's here. So again, just a nice record where I'm trying to just, you know, bridge the gap, distribute to everybody. You really can't go wrong with this one. Another just fantastic record. Really excited about this one. So excited. It's such a unique month. You'll see later. Alright, we've ventured out a little bit. Let's get back to Metal Monthly home base with Revulsion. It's a self-titled record coming out on Transcending Obscurity February 5th. You could guess what this one sounds like. Finnish death metal with just an absolutely perfect cover. Look at that thing by Kuba Sokolski. Transcending Obscurity has a hoodie with it on it. Oh boy, I want that thing. So obviously I'm a massive fan of the Finnish death metal sound, and that's why I'm so excited about this record, because it is a record that undoubtedly sounds like Finnish death metal, but branches out and does some things that don't sound like standard Finnish death metal, which is really exciting when it's like your favorite little corner of death metal. So what do they do differently? Well, at times it encroaches on like brutal death metal territory, especially in the drums. It can be really pummeling and punishing, but then to kind of balance that out, there's some stretches that are a little doomy, enough to be doomy, but not enough to cross over into full-on death doom. So I just really appreciate that kind of like, you know, balancing act they did while sounding like a home base. You know, it's really cool to be able to kind of, you know, balance all that, scales of justice, what have you. There's also just a really terrifying bass tone going on. Just a deep low. Whew. It's good. Alright, just when we recalibrated, another curveball. It's Black Totem 2 Shapeshifting on Smart Records February 26th. This one's weird, but then the Metal Monthly intro song will make sense. This band is also coming out of Finland, but they're doing bluesy, punky, heavily, hardy, gothy, nonsense, smorgasbord, goulash, whatever. What do we say about this record? Do you like classic era dancing? Well then, do I have a record for you? I can probably leave it there, but there's some other stuff to talk about. So the male vocals are undoubtedly Glenn, but then they're complemented by some female vocals from bassist Werewolf. They balance out really well and are a good addition and just obviously work very well together. It's like a metal Black Keys punk White Stripes. It's something that sounds very metal that also doesn't really sound metal. So for someone like me who listens to, I think there was 26 records I downloaded this month to go through to pick through for this, having something like this to break it up is really nice. You still feel like you're listening to metal, but boy, this is kind of the pre-palate cleanse for the month, definitely. But it's simple, it's fun, it's catchy, it's danceable, you know. Grease your hair back a little bit, dance with your partner, and you know, you drink some beers. But we arrive at our true palate cleanse of the month. It's Significant Point with Into the Storm on Dying Victim Productions. It comes out February 7th, but we're gonna have a listen now and then meet back here. What a tasty palate cleanse coming in the form of some Japanese heavy speed metal. Let's just say speed metal for the rest of it. The cover is obviously something I love. It's a mythical beast fighting modern soldiers. And inside is some music that I love because it's Japanese metal. I love Japanese metal and I love getting to talk about Japanese metal, but it's hard to talk about Japanese metal because frequently it's behind a wall of language barrier and lack of website crossover. But here is a Japanese metal band on Bandcamp that I get to deliver to you. Huzzah! And what's inside the box I'm delivering to you? Well, like I said, it is some Japanese speed metal. You've got a combination of English and Japanese vocals, so there's parts you can sing along with, but there's parts with that charm of the Japanese language. You've got basically a bunch of guys going hog wild on their instruments. These guys go nuts, especially if you're a fan of lead guitars. There's a lot of very fun lead guitar work all over this, but it never crosses over into that anime opening territory because there's not a bunch of bells and whistles going on. There's no keyboard player. There's no weird sound effects coming in. There's no weird falsetto or something. This is speed metal straight at you. Get your leather jacket on, get on your motorcycle, blast it loud, have a good time, and hey, have a good time with your month of February, you know? Thanks for coming out. We have a Patreon. You can like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff.